are joining a live conference already in progress. If you would like to ask the speaker a question, please press 0.
Telephone town hall meeting with the Amalgamated Transit Union. We have Local 1555 President Antoinette Bryant and Local 192 President Yvonne Williams on the line. We'll also be joined later by International President Larry Hanley. So please stay on the line with us. Please stay on the line with us, and we'll be joined in just a moment by our leadership. They're going to give us a bargaining update. We're dialing out to all of our Bay Area ATU members. We're going to get an update on ongoing negotiations with BART and AC Transit, and we'll also be talking about the United Valley this Thursday. Now, if you have a question that you'd like to bring live, a question or comment you'd like to bring live, go ahead and push 0 on your phone now, or at any time during this call, put you in to ask that question during the course of our 1-hour telephone town hall. I'm going to go through this introduction one more time while we are dialing out to our Bay Area members. This is the ATU. We're calling to give you an update about our ongoing negotiations with BART and AC Transit. If you do have a question that you'd like to ask, go ahead and push 0 on your phone now. We'll have a lot of people answering your questions. We'll have Local 1555 President Antoinette Bryant. We'll have Local 192 President Yvonne Williams. She's also going to give us a bargaining update. We'll have ATU International President Larry Hanley on later as well. So one more time, if you do have a question that you'd like to ask about the bargaining process and about what's going on in these ongoing negotiations with BART and AC Transit, go ahead and push 0 on your phone now or at any time during this call. And we've got most of our members on the line now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Local 1555 President Antoinette Bryant. Antoinette?
Thanks, Ian. Good evening, everybody. This is Antoinette, President Business Agent ATU, Local 1555. I first want to say thank you so much for everybody that's joining the call. This is a really critical time in the Bay Area, so it's extremely important that we have all of our ATU brothers and sisters on the line so that you can get a first-hand update from myself with regards to BART and from Sister Yvonne Williams with regards to AC Transit. So I'm really glad that you're all on the line. Thank you so much. I want to start off by saying that, as most of you may know, if you're watching the news at all, it's been pretty contentious with what's going on at BART. Our negotiations have been almost nil to non-existent. It's been a lot of surface bargaining. By that I mean that the district has failed to provide us with a lot of significant information that we can use to bargain fully and fairly. They've rejected out of hand a lot of proposals that would be beneficial both to our members at BART and to the district with little or no explanation. So that's made it a tough time to negotiate. We had a section today that did not go well. I mean, we're really struggling with the district team. They are not bargaining. We filed unfair labor practices. Those of you outside of 1555 may not be aware. We did file an unfair labor practices lawsuit against the district for failing to provide information, for failing to bargain fully and fairly, for failing to release us in a timely basis. We had many components to that lawsuit. So that's one of the other things that has been going on. As you know, our contract expires at midnight on Sunday. Our team is working their level best to try and get a contract, but when you're bargaining with yourself, it makes it extremely difficult. So for those of my members that are on the line, I just want to give an update from last Saturday when we had our town hall call that there has been no significant movement made since that call. We will be having another call on Sunday as the deadline gets even closer. We are still in a position where we're under a semi-gag order from the mediators. As you know, the district violated that today, so we did hold a press conference refuting the erroneous information that they are putting out there. So that's an overall assessment of what's going on. It's very vague. I welcome any questions that you guys may have by pressing 0. Before I give the call over to Sister Yvonne Williams, I also would like to share with you the fact that there is a unity rally on Thursday. That's this Thursday, August 1st. We are teaming up with ILWU, Local 10, Teamsters, Local 70, ATU 192, SEIU 10-1 BART Chapter, AFSCME 3993, which is AFSCME, the chapter at BART, and other locals that are coming out to rally. It's a unity union support rally in support of union workers and working families in the Bay Area. One of our guest speakers will be the actor Danny Glover. We are excited about this rally, and we invite you and your family to come out. The rally starts at 5 p.m. It will start at Frank Ogawa Plaza, which is 14th and Broadway in Oakland, and we will start from there, and we will march down to the BART headquarters building, which is 300 Lakeside Drive. So again, I encourage all of you to come out and attend that rally. It is 5 p.m. this Thursday, August 1st. Several unions from around the Bay Area are going to be key involved. We'd love to have everyone come out and show the Bay Area that we are not Wisconsin, we are not Michigan, and we are not going down without a fight. We will not allow the Bay Area to be privatized. So with that, I'll turn it over to Yvonne Williams, President Business Agent of ATU Local 192. Yvonne?
Yes, hi, brothers and sisters. And like my sister Antoinette Bryan has said, we also appreciate everyone that's taken the time to dial in tonight and be on the line and hear what's going on from the front line. We really do support ATU 1555 and SEIU 10-1 and all of the other local unions that are going through the struggle in the Bay Area. What's interesting about this whole BART and ATU 192 negotiations is that for BART, as BART has said, BART has the money to support their workers. At ATU Local 192, the district is in the position where we do not have to take the same serious cuts that we took in our last contract. In our last contract, as many of you know, we took a 6% wage cut the first year, a 5% wage cut the second year, and a 3% wage cut the third year. And, just like our sister, there are also serious safety concerns. We get shootings on our buses, muggings on our buses, and like all transit workers all over the nation, we're suffering with a rise in assaults. So we're serious about making sure that our safety issues are up front and foremost to protect our workers, and we're also serious about getting a fair and equitable contract. I'll tell you that the district has made some proposals that have absolutely nothing to do with their bottom line. One of their proposals that have nothing to do with their bottom line is to tell the workers, for instance, we are no longer going to allow you time off to attend your appointments, even if you have to go and see an oncologist. So they're just really very mean and draconian style of bargaining. And what I'm learning through this process is this is the overall plan in the Bay Area, probably connected to the NPC and other agencies, that basically want to see ATU, after over hundreds of years of representing transit workers and making sure that we have a livable wage and making sure that our workers have safety protections, they would like to see us become Veolia and Envy. And like my sister said, we are not going to allow that to happen. In fact, 2 months ago, at AC Transit Board of Directors meeting, there was a proposal on the table to privatize our Transway service. That's a service that runs from the East Bay in the Bay Area and serves transit to San Francisco. And that proposal a pilot program was going to begin within weeks. And fortunately, our board of directors voted 5-2 not to put that service in place. But believe me, we let that board know that in no uncertain terms would ATU Local 192 stand by after 113 years of protecting workers and allow them to privatize and drive us into substandard wage situation. So, like my sister has said, and I do echo that, we need everybody who's able to come out to the Unity Labor Rally. That is Thursday, August the 1st at 5 p.m. The unions have done an excellent job of putting this program together. I thank ATU 1555 for their involvement and for having us be part of it. And AFSCME 3993, I help WU10 and SEIU 10-1. So my position, and I hope the position of all labor in the Bay Area, is if we're going to go down, we need to go down fighting. That being said, That being said, we are rational labor unionists who want to get an agreement with these transit districts to continue to provide the excellent professional service that we provide to the Bay Area. We're not looking for Carmageddon in the Bay Area, and I hope the riders know and that the riders do support 1555, ATU 192, and the other unions, and know that we're being driven out, not that we want to be out, and not providing the service that they've become accustomed to. So I hope I didn't talk too long, but thank you.
Nope, you're great. Thank you so much, Yvonne. That was Local 192 President Yvonne Williams. And we're going to go to Larry Hanley next, our international president. But I wanted to mention one more time that if you did have a question you wanted to ask, please push 0 on your phone now. We'll get you lined up to ask that question of our leadership during the rest of this telephone town hall meeting. And with that, I'll turn it over to person comments to ATU International President Larry Hanley. Larry, you there?
Yes, good evening, everybody. I want to thank Yvonne and I want to thank Antoinette for bringing us up to date on the status of bargaining.
You're welcome.
No different thank you, and I want to just let everybody on the call know that this is no different than what is going on throughout the U.S. and Canada, where the ATU has been on the front lines for several years now, engaged in these kinds of struggles. We have had strike after strike in Canada over the course of the last year and a half, and in the States we have had one battle after the other, either in legislatures or at the bargaining table. Right before I got on the call tonight, I received a call from our local in Tempe, Arizona, and that local 1433 is about to also go on strike in the next several days for the same reason that we have this struggle going on in the Bay Area, and that's really a complete, utter, total disrespect for working people that we are suffering from throughout the United States and Canada. And again, if you listen to the people on TV, if you read the newspapers, people are wringing their hands about what happened to the middle class in America. The president is now speaking out about, what are we going to do to restore the middle class, saying that we can't have a good economy if it's not built on a strong middle class. And agencies like BART and AC Transit are on the front lines trying to destroy the middle class, trying to take away the opportunity that we have as working people to live a decent life. So I want you all to know, the members of 192, we are engaged in a struggle that is union-wide, and that we need you to participate, even if your local is not affected at the moment. We need you to participate in this struggle starting on August 1st with the rally that will hopefully call enough attention to this to bring some elected officials in California to their senses. I want you all to know that your brothers and sisters throughout the whole ATU are watching very closely, support you, and we will be there in every way we can to make sure that you're successful in getting a decent contract.
All right, thank you so much, Larry. And Antoinette, we're going to take our first question from the audience in just a moment here, but why don't you tell folks about the rally on Thursday, and then we'll move to question and answer.
Once again, we are having a unity rally. That rally is going to be held at 5 p.m. this Thursday, August 1st, at Frank Ogawa Plaza. That's at 14th and Broadway in Oakland. We're going to march from there all the way down to the headquarters of BART, which is 300 Lakeside Drive, also in Oakland. Danny Glover, the actor, is going to be one of our speakers. There'll be representatives speaking from 1555, 192, hopefully from AFSCME 3993, and SEIU 10-1, amongst others. We have received a letter of support at 1555 from the ILWU Local 10, as well as Teamsters Local 70. We've gotten support from the Bay Area Central Labor Council. So we are really encouraging all members of ATU, those that are on the line, please remember to come on out and support us. And as you ask your questions, this reminder that there may be folks on the line that are not ATU members, that could possibly be members of the media and or others that are listening in on the call. So just as a reminder to be aware of that. Ian?
Yep, thank you very much, Antoinette. And we're going to run a quick polling question before we take Otis, and it's real simple. Do you plan to attend the United Labor Rally at BART headquarters on Thursday at 5 p.m.? Press 1 on your phone for yes, press 2 for no. Again, do you plan to attend the United Labor Rally at BART headquarters on Thursday at 5 p.m.? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no. And let's get Otis up with his question live. Otis, you're live with your question. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yes, my question is, one, is why isn't the general manager of BART coming to the bargain table to try to resolve this issue? Second, why would BART hire a hired gun to negotiate a contract for $399,000 when they have their own negotiators?
Otis, that is a wonderful question. It's the same question that we on the negotiating team have been asking every day. Clearly, Tom Hawk, who has experience with other ATU locals across the country, has come out here with one thing in mind, and that is to bust our union. It is evident from the first day he came in, and great, our general manager is supporting that effort. Clearly, he has direction from the board of directors, from the district, to hardball us, to surface bargain with us, actually to not bargain, give us one-word responses and no counters, answering simply, we're not interested, or no, we don't think that'll work. We don't know what the purpose is, other than the only reason we can see is that they are out thinking that the Bay Area is going to be like Michigan or Wisconsin, and we are here to tell them, no, we are not. We are not going down without a fight. This is a labor community. We stand for working families, and we will continue to fight that fight.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Thanks for that question, Otis. We do appreciate it. And I believe we're going to take our next question from Keith here. Keith, you're live on the line. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I have a question. It's like way back in the days, as you saw unions stuck it out together, I feel that if we know that they are definitely trying to bust up BART's union, AC Transit union, and all the unions in the Bay Area, we're not fighting like it's in BART hanging out there by itself. If we join BART, then I think we would stand for a whole lot more than just one union standing by itself.
Any comments on that, Antoinette? Or
I don't know if that question is for me or for Yvonne, because I'm presuming that Keith is a 192 member, and I'm thinking he's asking the question of Yvonne.
Yes, I'll be more than happy to answer that question, brother. And I'd like to start off first by saying how much I appreciate our international, because our international definitely did provide us with the strike sanction, and so did the Labor Council in Alameda County, Contra Costa County. And so we're very pleased about that. What we had to do at the table, because we didn't have what you might have heard President Antoinette mention earlier, which is the unfair labor practice, the ULP. So while we were at the table with AC Transit, especially during the early part of July, when we first sat down at the table, AC Transit was giving us the same answer. We're not interested. That won't work. We're just going to impose effective June 30th, whatever we feel are past practices. Well, as the time grew near, AC Transit reversed its position, which therefore those were the issues that we were going to go forth and say, okay, we have an unfair labor practice, and we're going to file in court, and there are certain protections that unions have when they have an unfair labor practice, and those protections we did not have. So that's why we continue to negotiate good faith with AC Transit and not join the picket line at that time.
Great. Thank you very much, Yvonne. And thank you for the question. Our next question is going to come from Frank, but I wanted to go over the results of our first poll. We had 86% of you said you would attend that rally on Thursday at 5 p.m. at BART headquarters, and we appreciate that. Need as many as we can at the United Labor Rally. And then we had 14% say no, they couldn't make it. We hope you can take the time and change your mind. Let's get Frank's question up next. Frank, why don't you tell us what local you're with, and then go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, I'm with 1555. And my question is, if we do picket again, which it looks like we pretty much will, can it be authorized to sanction to picket the board of directors' personal residence and inform the news media and just put pressure on the elected officials? After all, they're the ones that really, at the end of the day, call the shots of all.
Frank, thanks for your question. Yes, absolutely. We have been involved with conversations with quite a few legislators. In fact, we had a meeting, we being ATU 1655, SEIU 10-1, and AFSCME 3993 at BART, had a meeting yesterday with State Controller John Chung. Last week we had a legislative briefing where Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom arrived and wanted to help, along with about 25 to 30 other legislators from the Bay Area that are interested in this, not just lip service, but actually making calls, doing visits to the BART board, to the general manager, to see what is going on. You may or may not be aware that SEIU 10-1 did in fact ticket Grace Krennick and Powell, and we have absolutely no problem with putting pressure on the board of directors who are making these decisions and allowing these outsiders to come in and try and tear up the Bay Area and jobs for working families. So absolutely, that's a go.
All right, thank you very much. And let's go and run our second polling question real quick, and then we'll go to Robert. Second poll goes like this. Would you be willing to participate in union activities to generate support for workers? If you'd be interested in attending picketing and rallies and board meetings, please press 1 on your phone. If you'd be interested in joining a phone bank, please press 2 on your phone. If you'd be interested in handing leaflets to riders, please press 3 on your phone. If you're interested in all of the above, press 4. And if you are not interested at all, press 5. I'll go through this one more time. Would you be interested in attending picketing rallies or board meetings? That's 1. Joining a phone bank, press 2. Handing leaflets to riders, press 3. All of the above, press 4. If you're not interested at all, press 5. And let's go ahead and get Robert up next. Robert, what local are you from? And go ahead with your question.
ATU 1555.
Already in your question.
I've been involved with union activity since early 1970s, and this is the first time I've ever seen the lead negotiator take a vacation during the negotiation. Now, BART is paying this man with public tax dollars just like they pay us, and I don't see any major outcries in the news about it. I'm wondering what news agencies are missing the boat. Also, if he drags the negotiations out long enough, he's going to want more money. Is there stop that from happening?
All right. Thank you very much, Robert. And actually, can I go to Larry Hanley for an answer to that?
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Larry, are you still with us? All right. I'm sorry. Antoinette, go ahead.
Okay, no problem. Thanks, Bob, for the question. We absolutely have reported out every time we've spoken to the news media, not only that they're paying this guy from Cincinnati $399,000 for a part-time 6-month gig, but that he's on vacation at a critical juncture of the negotiations. Just so you know, he did return yesterday. He was at the table today, as well as yesterday, for a brief amount of time. We have much better progress, if you can call it that, last week while he was gone. The atmosphere clearly changed in the room yesterday and today when he came back. We can't choose who they pick at the table, but certainly we've raised it, but I believe that it's not something that they really want to spend too much time on because they'd rather focus the blame on the union instead of the real culprit, which is the board of directors, the general manager, and the like.
And this is Larry. I'm sorry. I had my phone on mute. I couldn't get it on fast enough. I didn't want to interrupt you into that. The problem we have is that this entire negotiation has been engineered from before it started by BART to make sure that we did not reach a contract that our members would ever approve. And to force the union and its members into a corner to try and extract some more blood from the workforce. And Tom Hahn is somebody well known to the ATU, This is the way he negotiates, which is to say he doesn't negotiate. He comes in and makes ultimatums and creates strikes. Not everywhere it goes, but he certainly forces these kinds of tense situations and forces locals to have strike votes before he ever makes a real offer at the table. So that's who you're dealing with, and absolutely we have to turn our guns directly on board management and more, but we certainly have been having a field day on Tom Hawkins and what he's doing in board.
Thanks so much, Larry, and thank you for that question, Robert. We're going to go to Michelle live next. Michelle, why don't you tell us which local you're from and go ahead and ask your question.
I'm from 192. My question is to Yvonne. What's the deadline comes for board negotiation, which is what is it, August 4th? If they do happen to go back on strike, with AC Transit also be doing them on ticket line.
Okay, hi Michelle, thanks for calling in. Answer to that question is that we will try to get a collective bargaining agreement. We will give the notice to the public if we intend to withhold our labor or strike. We are both negotiating and as well as other unions separately, even though we have the same cause and the same fight in mind. Keep in mind that we do have separate contracts. We're going to continue to try to get a contract with AC Transit, but I can absolutely tell you that we have not given AC Transit an extension. So we are day to day, and we can, we can either the district can reach an impasse or the union can reach an impasse at any time. So we are not bound by any certain date. We can either continue to negotiate if the district wants to negotiate with us in good faith, or we have the right to withhold our labor at any time.
All right, thank you, Yvonne. Thanks so much. Thanks for the question, Michelle. Let's move right along to Joe's question next. Joe, go ahead and tell us which local you're with and ask your question, please.
My name's Joe Mills, ATU 1555. I just wanted to give a shout out to the ATU 1555 president, Antoinette Bryant. I think she's doing an excellent job. And I also want to give a shout out to ATU 192. I would hopefully they will honor our picket lines if we decide to go out. There is no real question. I already know all of the facts and figures behind everything that's out there. And just everybody hang tight. We will prevail.
Yeah. Well, Joe, thanks a lot. You know what our motto is, ATU strong, ATU proud. Appreciate you and all the guys out at Bay Point, everybody that's working really, really hard, all you guys that are stewards, that are stepping up, the picket captains, the commanders, all the volunteers, everybody that leafleted today for Safety Day, who are planning to attend the rally. I mean, everybody from our local, I can give a shout out back. You guys have been great. And I know it gets a little weary and frustrating, but I appreciate that everybody is standing ATU strong and ATU proud. So on behalf of the executive board, I just want to say thank you to our members. And likewise, I'd like to thank you for the shout out to ATU 192. And you don't have a problem with that, brother. Not only will we be honoring, but we'll also be supporting if that becomes the case. But, and I know Antoinette feels the same. We need to keep this system going in the Bay Area. But that's up to the managers now, isn't it?
All right. Thank you very much, Yvonne. Thanks for that. Antoinette, thank you very much for the shout-outs. Let's go to Kurt next.
Joe.
Kurt, you're live. Go ahead and tell us which local you're with and ask your question, please.
I'm with 1555. Earlier today, I was handing out the safety leaflets, and the impression that the people had was that all they concerned about were the money issues, and nothing really about safety. Is there any way that we can really step it up for our frontline employees and also for SEIU members?
Hey, Kurt. Good to have you on the line, sweetie. We had Safety Day today where there were volunteers out there with stickers on saying, ask me about safety, and going into some of the safety problems. But I have to tell you, every time we step into the mic, and myself as spokesperson and the SEIU 10-1 spokesperson, we always speak about safety, but that's not a sexy issue for the news media. They want to make it that we're greedy, that we don't want anything, but clearly that has been our statement. It will be our statement because we have to have these safety issues addressed. I raised the issue of the substation blow-up out in Richmond Yard yesterday and talked about the hard work of all those train operators. To my knowledge, that didn't even make the news. They asked me several questions about it, and it did not make the clip. What I did hear about was the fact, oh, here they go asking for money. So we are trying to make our case. But you know that BART has deep pockets in the PR, and they're rolling that machine. We are doing the best that we can. I want to say it on the call. I told Larry, but the International has been really helpful in their regard with doing things to help us get the word out, doing extensive research on Tom Hawk, and as well as at this labor rally, hopefully if their schedules will permit, we have International Vice President Bill McLean, President Bob Bean from Local 1433, where that Larry was talking about is getting ready to go on strike, and President Chris Bruce of Local 22 out of, I believe it's Worcester, Massachusetts, coming out to speak about their experiences with Tom Hawk, to let folks know what he does and what they're up against. And as Larry said, Bob Bean's local is getting ready to go out on strike. I believe he told me August 2nd or 3rd, behind a lot of nonsense that was negotiated by Tom Hawk. So we're trying to get the information out there. We're trying to let them know it's safety. Mark keeps saying it's a ruse. When I'm telling them, hey, we just had a substation blow up. We've got all kind of problems out in yards. Those aren't ruses. But, you know, they don't want to hear that. They want to get something down and dirty on the member. But we are fighting the good fight. And as long as our members stand strong with us, we're going to stand strong because that's what we do. And that's who we are.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. And it actually looks like our next question from David is going to be for Larry Hanley and the International. But I'd like to reveal the results of our second polling question. More than 75% of you said that you would be willing to help out in some way, picketing, rallies, board meetings, joining a phone bank, handing out leaflets to riders. So we very much appreciate that level of support. Let's go ahead and bring David live next.
Hello, my name is David. I'm with ATU 1555. Actually, Antoinette, you just answered the question I had. It was for Larry in regards to Thomas Hawk. There's a lot of information out there about him, and it's affected us, not just us, but pretty much all our locals. And I just wanted to know what the International was doing about it. I feel like more could be done because this guy has a history, and why should Bob fight him alone? We're fighting for everybody. I believe the International should have a bigger stake in this. But apparently, I guess you guys are doing something. So thank you. Good day.
If I could just, Larry, if I could just tell you, not only do we have a bigger stake, we have the biggest stake in this. Every union in our country and throughout the world now is struggling, and people like Hawk are the hired guns. I mean, just imagine for a minute what it's like to be Tom Hawk and make $400,000 to show up 6 or 8 times in negotiations when your only mission is to cripple hard-working people who actually show up to work every day. So, among the things we're doing, obviously, as Antoinette said, is we are flying in local presidents to testify publicly to what Tom Hawk is all about, and we will be there every step of the way. I guarantee that.
Great. Thank you very much, Larry. Thank you very much, David, for coming in with those comments. And let's move right along to Terrence next. Terrence, go ahead. Go ahead and give us your local number and what your question is, please.
Okay, yes, my name is Terrence. I'm with Local 192, and my question is for Yvonne. What is the biggest obstacle that we're facing during negotiations in terms of wages, safety, and pension?
Yes, Brother Terrence, thank you very much for being on the line and for asking that question. But, currently we are also in mediation, which does limit exactly what we can, exactly divulge. But I'll tell you the 3 biggest issues that we're facing at the table is wages, what we're looking to gain for our members after coming off of years and years of substandard wages and wage cuts.
is a net gain for our members at the end of the day. The medical, as many of you may or may not have known, we have paid co-pays, but we haven't paid premium out of our pocket, but we paid the premiums out of our wages. We paid the premiums out of our wages for years, as many, many other local unions have done. This time, we will be paying some premium. So what we're saying at the table, we don't want the premium to totally diminish our wages. And so after coming off of a wage cut, we need at the end of the day to have a net gain. As far as the pension is concerned, we're still sticking strong and under our leadership of the ATU International. We are not at this time bargaining over pensions because there are some legal issues going on at the international level, and I'm not an attorney, but I can tell you we are not bargaining over our pension at this time. There are some issues with PEPFAR, you may have heard. There's some issues with the 13C, and there's some issues with other legislation. So those are the main things that we're negotiating over. And it's wages at this time and our the cost of the premium for medical.
Excellent. Thanks, Yvonne. And
You're welcome.
Great question, Terrence. And let's get Roland's question up live next. Roland, go ahead. Let us know what your local number is and ask your question, please.
Yeah, I'm from 1555. That's what with the lawsuit, at what point, or how long would it take for a judge or somebody to look at it and for it to be active in order to stop BART from doing whatever it is that they're trying to do? That's my first question. And two, what can we, if BART wants us out on strike, which it seems like they do, what is going to have to be done to force them to have to do something and come to the table? At this point, they haven't done anything.
Hey, Ruth, thank you for the call. To answer your first question, the district right now, we're going, oh no, you asked about the lawsuit. Okay, with the unfair labor practice lawsuit, that takes about 3 months. So there's still time ticking on that, if you will. It is a slow process, but it has been filed. And actually, we may be adding some components to that lawsuit. So the lawsuit in itself is not going to force BART to the table. We've made it clear to the mediators, and they sit in. They saw the behavior yesterday. They saw it today. They know that there was a better response last week while Tom Haas was gone. So it's unfortunate they've chosen to do this, and clearly they are trying to push us out. All we can do is continue to attend and bargain in good faith and see what happens. We intend to be there every day at the table, ready to bargain, ready to do what you guys elected us to do in good faith to bring back something good for the members and for the riders of BART. Unfortunately, BART does not have the same wherewithal nor the inclination. So we're doing the best we can. We can't force them to come to the table, but we can continue to let folks know, let the media and the public know what's transpiring with regards to their lack of diligence in negotiating and holding the public hostage. They're holding us in the Bay Area hostage, and we try to get that out at every turn with the news media.
Perfect. Thanks, Antoinette. Great hearing from you, Roland. Let's go ahead and get Connie up live next. Connie, go ahead, please. Let us know what local you're from and ask your question.
Hi, I'm Connie Rady. I'm a 40-plus union member of ATU 1555. I want to have a shout-out to our executive board and all the unions that are involved in this struggle throughout the Bay Area. If we have to go out on a strike, I'm for shutting down the entire Bay Area with all transit, trucks, modes, boats, and everything to keep this union in the Bay Area together so my children and their children can see how unions work for the working class.
Yeah. Thanks, Connie. We have been talking about that internally and in dialogue with other unions about the state of unions right now and how it's on. We've got to get people to understand that this is not a BART fight or an AC Transit fight or any other union fight. We are fighting for the working families in the Bay Area, and that's something that really means that we have to get out into the community and explain to them that our fight is their fight and their fight is our fight. And until we get that message to the point where they really get it, we're going to have an uphill battle. I'm with you about letting people know what's going on and exerting our union power, because we do have it. We just need to exert it.
Great. Thank you, Connie. Excellent points there, Antoinette. Let's get Robbie up on next. Robbie, you're live. Let us know what local you're with and ask your question, please.
My name is Robbie Kramer from 1555. I'd like to say thanks for fighting so hard in our behalf, and I really appreciate that. My question revolves around, a couple weeks ago, there was a story that we released in the East Bay Express newspaper. I don't know if you're aware of it. The guy, the author of the story, mentioned that about the fight in Phoenix and Tempe, Arizona, a couple years ago when they went on strike. And the only thing that actually got Tomahawk to negotiate at all was they filed a claim with the National Labor Relations Board, and only because of that he actually made a deal with them. So is that something we're considering doing, or is that something you knew about? Is that something that would help?
Well, Robbie, thanks for the question. I have to tell you that I personally was not aware of that, but I'm going to guess that Larry was and is, and maybe he's better able to answer the question on whether or not we can use that, because I don't know, and I don't want to give an answer just off the cuff.
Larry, are you still with us? You know, Larry might have had to get on to other business, so, yeah, I'm not sure.
Probably what I'll do is I'll try and see if I can find out the answer and get back to you, because I don't know it, and I'll see if I can get a response from Larry on it for you and try and get it out to the members.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Robbie. I'd love to look up that article myself, actually. So let's get Michael's question up next. Michael, you're live. Go ahead and let us know what local you're with and ask your question, please.
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm with Local 192, but this is for Yvonne. Yvonne, I want to say the district has been treating us like dogs for a long time, and it's time for Local 192 to stand up and fight. So I'm here to tell you, on behalf of Local 192 at B4, we're here to fight. So all we want you to do is continue to do what you do best, and that's stand up and fight for us.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate that. And everyone knows that 192 has a long history of fighting. You know, we fought that one battle after another, and actually we're considered the civil rights, one of the civil rights locals of the ACU International. And believe me, brother, as I said earlier, we do not have an agreement with the district. We're on day to day. So I'm sending a message, and I hope that message is heard loudly and clearly, and that at any time that the district does not want to negotiate with us in good faith, we are under no obligation to continue to provide our labor to them. So I hope everyone heard me loudly and clearly. I know what to say and what not to say, but I can tell you this, everybody out there who's listening, we do not have an extension agreement with AC Transit, and they won't get one. What we want to have is a good agreement that we can take to our members that they feel that they can ratify. But make no mistake about it, we stand clearly beside our sisters and brothers over there at ATU 1555. That's one of the reasons we do not currently have a written extension agreement with the district.
Thank you, Vaughn, and thank you for coming in with that, Michael. We do appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to Sean next. Sean, go ahead, please. Let us know what local you're with and ask your question.
My name is Sean Gonzalo. I'm from our Local 1555. My question is to Antoinette. First of all, thank you for everything you've done thus far. But I was out leafletting with Brother Kurt down in Dublin, and people were extra mad today, and I could only assume that they were mad because they spent the whole train trip reading the proposal that Bart has put on their website as far as what they're proposing to us. My first question would go to, does that break the semi-gag order that you guys are currently negotiating under? And then number two, what was our response? I heard you had a press conference, but I wasn't able to catch it. What was their response to that?
Number one, your first question, I believe, was the BART proposal. Yes, it does violate the gag order. We believe that it was a ploy that they were using to stall negotiations even further. One of the comments that was made was, are we done yet? Are we done for today? So you guys can have a chance to respond. There was no need to respond. We did respond. We held a press conference and let the press know that the information they put out was clearly misinformation and that it was done purposely, we believe, to continue to forestall the negotiations. We went back to the table after that press conference and attempted to continue to bargain to no avail.
All right, thank you very much.
So, by the way, thanks, Sean, for the question.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Appreciate the answer. And let's move right along to Tony next. Tony, you're live. Go ahead with your question, please.
Hi, I'm from I got my question answered, but my question was about the gag order. What is going on with that? Because you guys have done a good job not telling us really too much that we, can't know about the negotiations, yet Bart's putting out all this information. And what's going to happen with the negotiations with that in regards to, punishment or, consequences for violating the gag order with the Bart executive?
Unfortunately, Tony, there's really no punishment, if you will. We did have a meeting about it. The district wanted to have a complete blackout, which we absolutely refused to agree to because every time they say that, they then violate it. We have done our level best to try and adhere to the gag order, but time and time again, as you stated, they have continued to violate it. There is no punishment, if you will, other than we can say they're violating the gag order, and they're continuing to do so. So, we will continue to respond. We did respond today with a little more information than we normally do, simply because what they put out, as the question Sean asked earlier, what they put out was so ridiculously untrue and so skewed with misinformation. We did go out and address that information. There were several channels there, so you might be able to pick up the feed off of any of the Bay Area news channels because we did call them, and there were, I believe, 7 or 8 represented at that press conference.
All right, thank you very much, and thanks for that question, Tony. We're going to go to Trace in just a minute, but we did have an email question from Dan in Local 1574 that I wanted to read on his behalf, since we haven't heard anybody from Local 1574 yet. How can I find out how to get involved? I'd like to do that one.
Dan, I hope that you're listening, even though you sent in an email. I've been in contact with Ron Smith and your Central Labor Council Executive Secretary Shelley Kessler. They are working in concert to make sure that information is passed on to you guys about what's going on, and we are doing the same. If, in fact, we end up going out on strike, it clearly looks like we would definitely appreciate any ticketing, any phone banking, any type of volunteering you'd be willing to do. You can get with Ron, your president, and get our contact information, or you can just give us a call at the hall, 510-763-1555. Again, 510-763-1555. We appreciate the shout out and the assistance from Local 1574. Thank you.
And next, brother, hi, this is Yvonne over at 192, and we do appreciate your call. And you can go to our website. It's at www.atu192.org. And we often post information there about upcoming events and how you can help out there. But also, with the phone banking, calling the boards of directors, having your members call the local legislators that represent your area, letting them know that we need to keep this transit system running in the Bay Area. That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take Trace next. Trace, you're live. Go ahead.
Trace from 192. And my question is this.
seems like the media is always pointing fingers. We have higher wages than most people, but no one's ever saying the wages of the people that are downtown. And I think AC Transit is top heavy with the salaries that are downtown. And nobody's ever pointing that out, it seems like, on the news, or even at BART. But the problem is, these people are making 4, 5, 6 times what we make, and they don't put the bus or a train. That's totally unfair, let alone that you don't realize this. And to me, and maybe it's just to me, but it seems like the media is more or less on their side. That's my question and statement. Thank you.
Well, Trace, thank you for calling in and pointing that out. The wages of the managers downtown has been a subject of conversation, and oftentimes when the labor unions bring these issues up and point these issues out, these are not the issues that the media really cares about. And the media, a lot of the time, you could say that the media is slanted towards the views of what we call the establishment, the people who really run the commerce, the people who are basically there to make sure that our wages are kept down. So that what they're really concerned about is keeping the wages of the working people, down. They're not really concerned so much about the wages of the executive staff of AC Transit. And they don't seem to be too concerned about the executive wages of the executive staff at BART, because there's been some conversations brought up by my sister over at BART and Brian, the president, and it's clear to me that the wages at BART, are an issue, but the news media doesn't seem to report that as much as they report that the greedy workers that only want more. And that's the story that the media spins. So it's up to us to tell our own story. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Let's get Tony's question up live next. Tony, go ahead, please.
Yes, this is Tony from 1555. And I was just wondering, I believe there's 2 mediators from the state. And if that's so, what is the feeling of the mediators that Tom Hogg has, been away for this 7 to 10 days for the negotiation table? And also, I think the union need to do a national rally throughout this country and to save the middle class working employee. And so that's just my feelings. And also, I want to say the union is only as strong as the members that are in the union. That's it.
You are absolutely correct. And that's why I am so pleased with the turnout that we've been getting, the response, the volunteerism from the folks at 1555. I can't speak about it enough. People are stepping up to handle situations. With regard to your statement and your question about the mediators, we cannot quote or give out any statements that they make with regard to situations that are going on within the room. But we did express to them our dismay at the fact that, again, with less than 2 weeks to go at negotiations, he would choose to be on vacation. The district tried to mask it with the fact that, oh no, he's got another engagement, but clearly he made it known that he was going to be on vacation. So I can't again speak to what their feeling is about it, but they are aware of it and they know what our feeling is about it.
All right, great. Thank you very much. And I think we've just about reached our hour limit on this telephone town hall meeting. So I think we're going to go to Antoinette, Yvonne, Larry for closing comments, maybe some reminders on how to get to the rally on Thursday. You want to start out, Antoinette?
Sure. Once again, the rally is going to be on Thursday, August 1st, starting at 5 p.m. We're going to start the rally at Frank Ogawa Plaza. That's at 14th and Broadway in Oakland. And we're going to march to our headquarters, which is at 300 Lakeside Drive, also in Oakland near Lake Merritt. I encourage everyone to come out, bring your family, bring your friends. This is a unity rally that's going to be joined by the Teamsters Local 70, ILWU Local 10, SEIU 10-1, SPART Chapter, AFSCME 3993, San Mateo, Alameda, San Francisco, and Contra Costa Central Labor Council members. This is going to be a very big rally to support working families in the Bay Area, as well as actor Danny Glover, who is going to be a featured speaker. So I can't encourage you all enough to come. I want to thank everybody that stayed on the line, that participated, that asked questions. We're all ATU proud and ATU strong. Yvonne?
Yes, hi. Yes, brothers and sisters, and please wear your union colors, bring your union banners, bring whatever you think you need to bring that will make the rally successful. And I'd like to close by saying I want to remind everyone that it's interesting. At the AC Transit negotiations table, when they first sat down, we heard, "We're not interested. That won't work." Those are the exact words I heard President Antoinette Bryan express. So therefore, it's no doubt in my mind that AC Transit and BART are working in concert to shut down the entire Bay Area for their own personal gain. They have no compassion for the passenger. They have no compassion for the workers. And therefore, those board of directors who are elected, remember, you have a voice and you have a vote. And if they even went this far in order to stress out the Bay Area, remember when they come up for election, they need to be replaced. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Yvonne. Larry, are you still on the line with us?
Yes, I am, and I just want to thank everybody for being on. I want to encourage all the members of the ATU in the Bay Area to get out there on Thursday. I want you to know that all across the U.S. and in Canada, our members know your story, will know more about it. We are communicating throughout our national union about what's happening in the Bay Area. And give me a turnout that I can tell them about. Show them that the ATU in the Bay Area has the spirit that we need to win. So I hope everybody will get out on Thursday and support the rally and volunteer in your local union. Now is the time that you are needed most. Thank you all.
Thanks so much, Larry. And for those of you who didn't feel like they got their questions answered tonight, you can email us at communication@atu.org, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Again, email us any questions you feel like you didn't get answered at communication@atu.org. And thank you so much, everybody, for being on the line with us.
Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.